drop program may be the largest controversy we've had in the city of Philadelphia in quite some time. But in this case, I agree with the elected officials who say if you want to send a message to them about the drop program or anything else, then you'll send it on Election Day. Because if you don't, it really wasn't that important to you, and you should just be quiet. In the last Democratic primary for City Council, you could have won with approximately 15,000 votes. In a city of 1.4 million people, that means you could win with fewer people than go see a Sixers game. 4 could get elected with the Eagles' attendance. So what are you going to do, Philly? Are you going to whine, file lawsuits, call talk radio, or are you going to do all of those things and exercise your most important tool, and maybe your easiest? Just vote. And just quickly, in our budget in Harrisburg, you just had cutbacks in education, you had cutbacks in drug counseling, you had cutbacks in job training, but you increased funding for prisons and you made it easier to shoot people. So the message you're sending is, I won't educate you, I won't train you, I won't help you find jobs, but I will lock you up and I will shoot at you. That's a difficult message to send.
Interesting way to put it there. Yeah.
And I disagree. I don't know Tucker Carlson at all. But if, in fact, he believes that, as you said he may, then he's not a good guy. Because good guys aren't going on national television saying that you should be executed.
Good guys
after
make mistakes, Bill. Good guys make mistakes.
And he should, well, maybe he should be executed. Tucker should be forgiven for that statement. But to go out there and make that kind of a statement just to generate controversy, to me, is a problem.
Bill, it's great to talk to you, man.
I'm curious, is there ever a time that you feel like you're about to lose your composure with people wagging fingers in your face and some of the lack of respect? Does it ever almost come out?
You know, the truth of the matter is that most of this stuff just slides off because, as Michelle reminds me, I volunteered for this job.
Hoodie is as much responsible for Trayvon Martin's death as George Zimmerman was.
The hoodie is responsible for his death. Let's remember, the shooter was also wearing a hoodie as well. But this, to me, seems like blaming a girl who was raped because she was wearing a short skirt. Why is that happening in this case?
It's ridiculous, and I thought I had heard everything, but now how somebody is dressed is justification for murder. Geraldo is reaching, and this is nonsense. The young man allegedly was minding his business. He did not confront anyone. It was a chilly night. People all across the country, millions of them, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, wear hooded sweatshirts. To imply that you can't wear those for fear of being murdered is ridiculous.
As a sports fan, I love this time of the year. The Sixers, although unfortunately they drew the Miami Heat in the first round, made it to the playoffs. The Flyers almost always compete for a title. And the Phillies and our 4 aces so far have exceeded all expectations. But unfortunately, this time of year also brings up an interesting phenomenon that I call the fraudulent front-runner fans, or Triple F. You know the people that I'm talking about. They show up in Philadelphia walking around in their Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade, or LeBron James jerseys. They've lived here their entire lives, but now that the Heat are a good team, they claim the Heat have always been their team. They try to justify their fraudulent behavior by saying, I just fell in love with the star at an early age. The fraudulent front-runner fans are even more apparent now because our Phillies have been the odds-on pick to win the World Series. So now you've got people all over the country who probably can't name 5 players on the Phillies roster who all of a sudden are wearing the red hat with the white emblem talking about the Phillies are my team. So real Philadelphia sports fans, help me pull the covers off of these frauds. The next time you see someone walking around in a Miami Heat, Dallas Cowboy, or Yankee jersey, ask them to name 5 players that played for the team more than 5 years ago, and I bet you they can't. Let's tell these triple Fs what we really think about them and add another F in front of their name. What do you think the first F stands for? Forget about it, you fraudulent front-running fans. What do you think it meant?